Mydei makes a strong first impression upon his introduction. Right away, he calls the Trailblazer and Dan Heng invaders and is brutally honest about Phainon's faults, stating he lacks in hospitality and referring to him strictly as Deliverer. This initial impression does fit what we're told of his background. He is the crown prince of Castrum Kremnos, a once prosperous city inhabited by a culture who worshipped the Titan of Strife, Nikador. They were very battle-oriented people, raising their young kids to pick up the blade and regularly holding gladiator-style tournaments. One of their customs was to throw the deceased into the Sea of Souls, so their spirits could empower Nikador's Blade of Fury. We see in a flashback that Euripon, the former king of Kremnos, tossed his baby son Mydei into the sea to avoid the prophecy of his death. Oh yeah, Mydei was ritually sacrificed by his own father. I hope y'all would agree with me when I say that's pretty messed up. Putting it mildly, since I don't want to swear this early into the video. He drifted in the sea for 9 years, never once being consumed by it. Like all the other Christos heirs, Mydei has a special trait that is, as his chapter in As I've Written puts it, both a blessing and a curse. His gift is his body's defiance of death. No matter how many fatal wounds Mydei suffers, he's always just out of death's clutches. Mydei takes after the Greek hero Achilles. Just like how Achilles became invincible after being dipped into the river Styx, drifting through the Sea of Souls made Mydei immortal. However, in both cases, there is one spot where they can be killed if struck. Mydei's equivalent of Achilles' heel is his 10th thoracic vertebra. But that's not the only Greek figure Mydei takes after. His full name is in reference to Deimos, the personification of terror. He is a son of Ares, the god of war, and the brother of Phobos. Both brothers represent fear, but in different ways. While Phobos represented the fear and panic felt in battle, Deimos personified the feeling of dread people experience before battle. My is an obsolete metric prefix denoting a myriad of things. With this mythological context in mind, Mydei as a whole name could mean Mydei is either the personification of a myriad of terrors, or possibly he has faced that many terrors from the myriad deaths he's experienced. Despite how his father treated him, Mydei still finds pride in his culture, even if he's conflicted on embracing their blood-stained history. As we learned from Phainon during our first trip to the ruins of Castrum Kremnos, Mydei couldn't help but feel homesick. Although he may outwardly give Phainon the cold shoulder a lot of the time, there is a mutual respect the two have for each other. His gift of immortality happens to coincide with Nikador's immortal state. One achieved immortality while retaining their ability to reason, while the other got their immortality from losing it. You know, with how they describe Nikador as a god that instilled fear into people and succumbed to madness, you'd think I was talking about Soul Eater, but I already made that video, shameless plug. We help the personification of Nikador's reason, Nias, unite with the other fragments of Nikador to restore the Titan's divinity. And I want to stop the analysis real quick to just say, holy hell, Nias' English voice actor popped up way more than he needed to, and I'm grateful for that.
I am Nikador, the lance of fury, the messenger of turmoil, and the embodiment of strife. Remember this! I am the scar that this world needs!
Mydei was able to hold out in a battle with his culture's titan long enough to allow Nikador to die a warrior's death. This brave, battle-hardened lion was able to fight toe-to-toe with a god for hours on end. Even with his immortality, you can't deny that is a remarkable feat. The symbolism of lions with Mydei and Kremnoan culture goes pretty deep. As the king of beasts, lions often symbolize royalty. As a beast, it makes sense to have it be the animal representative for Kremnos, and its connection to royalty is one reason why it's so closely associated with Mydei in particular. People born under the Leo zodiac tend to be natural-born leaders who are bold, loyal, protective, and noble. All things you can say about the exiled prince. Noble especially fits him with how he detested his father for his actions and sought to avenge his mother by killing him. Oh, and Leos are also known to be fiery passionate. No better time than now for our third round of Which Flame Chaser Are They? This one's pretty simple. Mydei is more than likely a stand-in for the 6th Flame Chaser, bearer of the Decimation Signet, Kalpas. Kalpas' pyronetic abilities create flames so hot that they end up doing damage to him as much as they burn everything around him. However, Kalpes has a dull sense of pain, so he doesn't feel the damage he takes from using his own power. In similar fashion, Mydei's gameplay involves him losing a lot of HP to go into his Berserker state. Kalpes is very emotionally unstable and enjoys tormenting his enemies during combat. However, he demonstrates multiple times he's not a bloodthirsty meathead. He has a caring heart and has made friendships with fellow flame chasers like Sakura. That caring side underneath their rough exterior is important to highlight for Mydei as well. He may be a brutal berserker who has survived many wars, but he's also a total lovable dork. No, really, the 3.1 livestream starts with him baking. The brief flashback where you take control of him shows you what he wants to say, in contrast to what he ends up saying. He plays house with kids. Look at the way he interacts with kids when you play in his perspective during 3.1.
That time has not yet arrived. But, young men of Kremnos, heed my command. Return to your parents at once. From here on, you are to dedicate yourselves to rigorous training and a healthy diet. You must not neglect these two aspects if you are to become a brave warrior of Kremnos.
This man is just a cutie. The kids show great adoration for Mydei, and they're not the only ones. All Kremnoans have their faith in Mydei, hoping he can lead them back to their homeland. However, his Kremnoan heritage is a source of fear for him. At the start of 3.1, it's made clear his deepest fear is becoming king and embracing the traditions of his people. He worries that if he were to take the throne, he could become as reprehensible as his father. But near the end of the quest, he finds the resolve to burn the traditions of Castrum Kremnos and force them to blaze a new trail devoid of senseless bloodshed. He takes his place as the new god of strife and brings an end to the Kremnoan dynasty. I think the ending line of a signature light cone is important to look at with this arc in mind. Home is the land of dreams, not a place one can ever reach. In other words, Mydei didn't return his people to the Castrum Kremnos they once knew, but granted them a new home in Akama that's better than the one they left behind. But I think part of his fear also stems from his connection to Akama. The quote in his strip marketing has Mydei say, "I'm the crown prince of Kremnos, Mydemos, and also the warrior of Akama, Mydei." Akama is as much his home as Castrum Kremnos, and so he has to leave one home behind for another. Mydei saying goodbye to everyone was touching, and I'm really happy to see his story be handled as well as it was. They gave us just enough of Mydei before his departure to make him charming. I also like how his story had a similar message as Trivi's. Both characters' arcs are about opening a path for a brighter future, and both were executed very well. Thank you for watching. This is one part of a series of analysis videos on Amphoreus' cast of characters. If you want to see me analyze another character from Amphoreus, please subscribe to the channel so we can hit our goal of 2,000 subscribers this year. Subscribing is totally free. You can unsub at any time, and it will make me smile. Also, like this video to let me know if I did a good job. As a smaller content creator on the platform, engaging with my videos really, truly helps me out. Have a great rest of your day, and until we meet again, take care.